everyone. Welcome to Inside Sports Talk with your host, Johanna-Rosalye. I am joined here tonight with my great and amazing friend and co-host, Ed Cole. How are you?
Joanna, good evening. It's great to be with you again.
Yes. And are you ready for another full-packed show talking nothing but sports?
Absolutely. This is what we do every week. The people want it. The people want this good, fresh content. They want to see us talking about sports and get our impact, get our thoughts on sports. So let's not deny the people. We're all about the people, aren't we, Joe?
Of course not. Yeah. All about the people and all about sports.
That's right. What a great combination.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And hasn't it been just overwhelming events happening this last weekend with basketball, more basketball, NBA, NCAA tournament just, underway, or tournaments, I should clarify that. Fight night, and so much action that's just been happening.
It's a great time of the year for sports. You mentioned basketball, and the new league year for the NFL is getting ready to start. There's UFC fights that I know you are dying to talk about. That's your love, right alongside baseball. Baseball is in full swing with spring training. Look at you, just using my words, completing my sentences.
My two loves.
Yes, your two loves collide: UFC and baseball.
Right. Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start, Ed. To be honest, there's just so much to talk about, so much to recap and bring to our listeners.
And Joanna, we're going to be privileged to be joined tonight by Jess Root, site editor for USA Today's Cardswire, and he's the host of Rise Up Red Sea podcast. So he'll be joining us in a little bit to talk Arizona Cardinals football and just general NFL. So we are going to have a great time talking football when Jess joins us.
Definitely. I am so excited. I cannot wait to have him on and talk some football and some Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals.
Absolutely.
So, ready to go ahead and kick it off?
Yep, let's do it.
Talk some UFC, some fight action.
Yes, there was a lot of great fights over the weekend on the male side and the female side.
Yes, there were. My goodness. So it was UFC Fight Night on Saturday. So much happened. So much occurred there. So we're going to go ahead and I want to go ahead and ask you about this, Ed, which was pretty much the highlight or the topic of the night and and then all the weekend as well. Many, have different feelings of how this occurred, and I am talking about the illegal kick and disqualification by Peter Yan. So Peter Yan went against Aljamain Sterling, and it was in the fourth round where Sterling was down. He had one knee down, and Peter Yan went ahead and kneed Sterling on the face or on the forehead, and that ended up being a consequence of his disqualification, which then he loses the fight. Sterling obtains the belt as the new bantamweight champion. So where I am going with this, there's a lot of conflict, and I want to get your thoughts on this. My brothers and I, we were talking about it, and we each gave our own opinion, of course, as many who watched the fight that night also may have. So the rule is, if a fighter or your opponent is down, has a knee down, you can't kick. You can punch them, but you can't kick them. The rules are given to you before the fight. They're reviewed. They go over them with each fighter or with the fighters. So you as a fighter should know in my opinion, should know better of this rule. Your opponent is down. You know what is considered to be a down opponent and what not to do as a fighter. This is also being put on Peter Yan's corner and saying that he heard yes, go ahead and kick, which then results in the being an illegal kick and disqualification. So there's a lot of back and forth going on. Very controversial. Of course, Sterling became very emotional after the fight. Of course, that's not a way that you would want to win a fight. We don't know yet if they're going to come back and fight again, a rematch or whatnot. But I want to get your thought on it, Ed. As a fighter, what if you were in this situation, how would you react? What would be your actions? Because for me, I'm thinking, you're a fighter, you know this. This isn't something that you're new to. You should know all the rules. You know and should know what a down opponent is, and you still go forward and do that. Kick when your opponent is down.
Ultimately, it comes down to you and your decision, because it's just you and the other fighter and the referee in the ring. Your corner can say whatever they want to you and say, go ahead and kick him, or go ahead and punch him. But ultimately, you're the grown person. You are the one that's fighting for the championship. You should, as you say, Joe, you should know the rules. He's not new to this. Peter Yan is not new to this. It wasn't like it was his first fight and he's just raw and just fresh off the street, and he's never fought, never been in a UFC fight before. And also in the press conference, Dana White says he does want to reschedule Sterling and Yan. So if Dana White says he's going to reschedule it, so he'll reschedule the fight. So, but yeah, it's just unfortunate the way it ended that way, Johanna. And he should have known better than that. He should. Well, punches are legal, but kicks are not legal when the opposing fighter has his knee down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he should have known that. Right, he should have known. He should have known the punch rather than kick. Mm-hmm. This is your profession, Johanna. This is what you get paid to do. This is your livelihood. Peter Yan knew the rules. So
that is my take. Yeah, we don't have that confirmation yet. They are wanting to go ahead and reschedule the fight. Yes, and have that opportunity for them to go ahead and have a rematch if that's what you want to call it. So still news to find out as if Peter Yan will want to go ahead and have that rescheduled or whatnot. But here's one of the things too, is that Yan was ahead in the fight as well. It was kind of pretty close. It could have been a little bit close. And there was still another round, which was the fifth round, the championship round, that could have, who knows what could have happened. And maybe the tables could have turned. If Sterling would have wanted to go ahead and continue, or was able to continue and decided to do so, that would have turned the tables on the fight as well. There would have been point deductions, and maybe he could have, you never know, maybe taken round 5, maybe it would have been split decision, maybe he would have won, who knows. But it did end up in a disqualification. I think you and I agree, as a fighter, you know the rules, you should know better, don't kick. Regardless of what your corner is saying, know the rules and what you are allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. And sometimes it can be, chaotic, or you may, be under, the emotion and the adrenaline of when you're fighting. But you were told as well, he was told by the referee. But it's unfortunate that it came to be this type of outcome, and that Sterling becomes the title holder in such a way.
I would think that Yan and Sterling would want to rematch this, Johanna, run it back again, and just actually get the proper fight in, and not let that fight get clouded by an unfortunate decision on Yan's part to end it that way. They would want a fight that would not end that way. They would want one that would end, like you said, going the distance potentially, and something happening in the final round. Or if somebody does get knocked out, they get knocked out a legal way, not an illegal way.
Indeed. And talking about knockouts, Ed, there was also in the part of the main card was Amanda Nunes, the Lioness.
The Lioness, yes.
And then she faced and went off against Megan Anderson.
That poor girl.
So, Ed.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
It was it was good for the time that it did last. Just Amanda Nunes, she's a lioness. There's a reason why she has that name. She went and put Megan and won on a submission. So Amanda Nunes, she is just rocking those belts, Ed. And the fight ended in the first round. A minute, or not even a minute in. She wins I think what was the timing of it? I don't want to get that wrong, Ed.
For the fight, 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
2 minutes and 3 seconds that were left in the fight in the round of round one. So
the entire fight lasted 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
2 minutes and 3 seconds. Thank you.
Yes.
So so many numbers.
That's why that's why I said, Joe, poor Megan, bless her heart. She did what she could for 2 minutes and 3 seconds, but yeah, the Lioness, she's ridiculous. She's insane.
Yes. And Megan, she's no small gal. She's tall. No. She had the arms, the length, and the body. But just Amanda, she went out and does what she does, and just submitted her. And it was just as soon as you saw her go down in the way that she had Anderson on the mat on the floor there, you knew that it was over. Like when she went ahead and had that, her arm around her neck there, it was an immediate tap. So from
Johanna,
here on out is what happens with Amanda Nunes. There's rumors that it will be possibly a contender UFC bantamweight because there's expected, and word that Amanda Nunes will go ahead and drop down in weight, and she's willing to do that too. To maybe possibly face UFC bantamweight contender Juliana Pena. So she wants a shot at the title against Amanda Nunes. So we don't know what's going to happen there. But right now, Amanda, she's kind of gone against everyone that you can possibly imagine.
Her resume is so stacked. Victorious in her last 12 bouts dating back 6 years ago, Johanna. 12 of those fights are 9 championship wins in 2 weight classes and wins over, you've heard of Ronda Rousey before. You've heard of her. She's pretty big.
Yes.
She's a big name. And Chris Cyborg, you've heard of her. She's pretty big time too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's beaten both of her. She's beaten both of those ladies.
Yep.
And by all accounts, by what she said after the fight, she was comfortable fighting at featherweight. She liked the diet that she had to go on, Johanna, to get to the featherweight class. But as you said, it's up in the air as to whether she's going to fight at bantamweight or stick with the featherweight and which title she's going to defend. It's good to have those kind of options when you are that deadly as the Lioness is. She's like, okay, do I do featherweight or bantamweight? What do I want to do on this fight? Or the next fight, do I want to go up in weight or down in weight? It's great options for her.
It is, and she can do it all.
Yeah,
there's nothing more for her left to prove. And right now is just who does she face? Who's next? Who's the best opponent that she can go out there and that will actually give you a good fight, and that won't be a 2-second fight. You has to be a good. A great contender out there to go up against at a title shot.
It is, but whoever it is going to be, they're going to have a tough sledding. It's going to be a tough hill to climb when you go up against the Lioness. All she does is just run through ladies. It is almost unfair.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Almost unfair. Because once I would not even try and attempt
no
to go